Because if you want a burger, eat a burger. If you want a french fry, eat a french fry. The fuck?
That was not divine. That was not divine.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Brose here, and I'm back with the new video. Welcome to the Brose Breakdown. In today's video, we're going to be talking about why do straight men gay bait. So I'm going to be speaking on this topic in two different ways. So let's talk about masculinity within the gay community. When you're talking about this, you have to talk about the masculinity in regards to this. I feel like this is kind of like one of the biggest roots of the problem. The fascination of some gay men have with masculinity is a layer, and it's kind of like a multifaceted issue. And it can be understood in various ways. While not all gay men are obsessed with masculinity, which is like, an overgeneralization, there are certain cultural, social, and psychological factors that might explain why masculine is prioritized and why straight men gay bait, because a lot of gay men support it. Let's be real, y'all support it. Y'all welcome it. And you can say you don't support it, but a big portion do, which is why a lot of straight men do it.
Whoa. Y'all viral on gay Twitter gang. You want to get on there? No. And help grow your viewership?
Again, masculinity is praised because I think it has to do with many societal pressures. It's often considered ideal or the standard for men to behave in that way, right? So straight men are typically rewarded for performing masculinely, while gay men might feel that they need to adhere to these same norms to be seen as desirable or valued in a predominantly heteronormative world. This pressure can manifest in the gay community when masculinity, assertiveness, and things like that or traits are seen to be attractive and are kind of like standards when it comes to dating. So a lot of the times people say a masculine man is who they want to be with, right? In the gay community, it's like they put that as like the staple. So a lot of people feel like they have to adhere to that to get a partner. But I always tell them, like, look at the people who are in those relationships, and are a lot of them mass for mass. I'm just asking you. I'm asking you right there. Ask yourself, are they? And then really dissect, what is masculine? Like, is it just masculine presenting, or is it like, just the way they act, or are they actually masculine full round? But it's kind of like you're masculine. How can you be 100% masculine and gay? I mean, yeah. Maybe y'all can tell me how that works.
Born a black man in America. I was born a black gay man in this world. That's a big fat no for a lot of people in a lot of spaces most of the time.
Internalized homophobia, for some gay men, the focus on masculinity may stem from internalized homophobia, where they have absorbed negative societal attitudes about being effeminate. Some gay men may overemphasize masculine traits in an attempt to feel more accepted or distance themselves from stereotypes about being too gay or weak. This could lead to, the obsession with masculine appearances. You see a lot of men with a lot of tattoos. That could be performative. Going to the gym. That could be performative. The way they dress. That could be performative. Like, it's so many factors that goes into that. Like I said, and just being in gay spaces.
Struggle with the idea of coming out publicly. Was that something that you talked about at all?
But he wasn't going to come out and say this to the world. And he had a lot of lady fans, and he told me that he just didn't want to upset the world.
Life?
Depends on when you ask me whether or not it's a good place.
Are you happy?
It depends.
And then you have the desire for validation, like, in a word that's often ostracized and marginalized. Gay men sometimes feel adopting a masculine identity and valuing masculinity gives them access to a certain level of validation, respect. You always hear those terms like, he's gay, but he's not gay. Or you hear things like, I'm gay, but I'm not gay like that. Like, they do that comparison thing. And then you have rejection or stereotypes. Some men, they have those stereotypes they have in the media, how they may show a certain type of gay man being like flamboyant and stuff like that. And those are actual, those people exist, right? But some people try to counteract that and like be like, oh, I'm not just like them. Kind of like what I said earlier, but you know, they see it and they want to be like, oh, we're a different type, you know, to seem more respectable. And then hypermasculinity and sexualization, and a gay man's attraction can be tied to sexualized masculine bodies, you know, muscular features. In the community, a lot of people who are on flyers or different shows on television, they have to be this big, muscular, unfit type of guy. So they may feel they have to do that to, again, gain validation. And then just a masculine archetype, that's kind of with all men. You have to have, which comes with, you know, being powerful and confidence and things like that, when a lot of them are actually kind of the opposite, you know. So it's just that portrayal of what comes with that, you know, the characteristics that come with that. And then escaping marginalization. They don't want to be marginalized. They want to be able to fit in. They don't want to, you know, be discriminated against. They want to be able to blend into society because of what society deemed as acceptable.
Older in the industry, when you entered your teens, entered your 20s, how was that space for you? And when you were trying to just understand yourself, understand your own life, your loves, your sexuality, all of that?
Well, I didn't start understanding those things until I got away from the business, until I left the business. Like I said, it was work. I didn't have time to process any of that. Yeah, I knew my sexuality, but I didn't think of the representation that I didn't see in the business. I didn't think about those things.
Yeah.
When I came out to my family and my friends when I was about 19 or 20, that was it for me. And then I went on this road of discovering myself. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know how to do anything but go to the studio and sing. Like, who is this guy? Who are you?
So it's really sad when you think about it and you think about everything, how it all stems from, you know, societal pressures and white supremacy in a way. I know y'all don't know. Y'all gonna be like, what? How did I fit in? But if you know, you know, right?
It's us. There's something about...
When you say us?
Black men.
Yep. Black men, okay.
There's something about black men and the homosexual conversation that is a mess. The phobia as it relates to black men is the elephant in the room. And no one will actually articulate their devastation, right? Because you have to think, like, for a black man, the worst thing to be called
is gay.
Is gay.
Yeah.
Like, the first thing somebody's going to allude to, whether you are gay or not, when they're trying to assassinate your character or get off the highest joke imaginable, they're going gay first.
Gay or snitch.
Or broke, right?
Or broke, But gay being
number one.
Trying to figure out how to make you gay is at the top of that list.
That's a fact.
So it's important to know that that's kind of like the root and why straight men are able to exist in that realm, because a lot of gay men want that, you know, they feel the pressures of society, so they just conform to that. A lot of gay men get to do those things because, you know, masculinity is celebrated in the gay community. So when you take a straight man that's doing things to lead gay people on, they're going to be like, oh my God, it's like this sounds so bad, but like the owner waving his treat at a dog. So it's like, you know, like, so that's why I feel like that's the root of it. But I also want to talk about why straight men do it too. So one is a lot of them do it to seek validation. Some straight men use gay baiting ways to get attention, especially if it stirs reactions. So for instance, if they might flirt with someone or make suggestive comments to gain that validation, often a form of shock, admiration, or intrigue. The excitement of causing others to question their sexuality can be a form of validation, particularly in a culture that often idolizes bad, like, interests and behaviors. So a lot of straight men want to use that as ways to get more views on videos and get more likes and get more interactions, like, you know, with the I don't know, it's like Plaque Boy Max or something like, I don't know his official name, but, you know, he knows what he was doing. Like, you know, he knows that it gets a lot of traction and you get a lot of views, and it's a way to build your following.
No, nigga, it's you. And where your butt at? Non-existent. Shit sad.
I'm not saying he's like somebody who doesn't care about the community, but I'm sure he's definitely not an advocate or someone, or even a, you know, advocate, an ally, accomplice, or none of that. So, I mean, as you can see, he used that to gain attention, for validation, and you know, you can't fault him because it's kind of like a business. It's like a branding / business practices. You know, you're trying to gain as much views and things like that to, you know, get support. So that's how he does it. But I also feel as though it's the gay person's job to recognize that and make that conscious decision and not complain about it. But in the next breath, still, you know, support them. Kind of like with NLE Choppa, people like that. Not saying they do that. Well, who knows? But anyways, so I'm just saying. Then you have challenging those boundaries. Some people, gay men may be seen as a way of challenge social norms, break taboos. For some, it may be a form of humor and like pushing the boundaries, or kind of like just mess with, you know, or just to gain like reactions, and kind of similar to the first part. But it's simply to be provocative and do like something that's gonna cause a shock value.
Oh, faggots.
What? Huh?
Yeah.
Wait, huh? Wait, whoa.
Yeah, we're caught.
Wait, whoa, okay, whoa. Hold on. Whoa. Hold on.
And then that kind of leads to money. Monetary value. People are able to gain a lot of money and a lot of monetary value, or just things. It's like a gift given and received. So if they know they can kind of get away with it, they know they can use that to get money, get gifts, get you to buy them things, and they get that incentive by making you feel like they will do something, or they're paying attention to you, or make you feel like you're the only one. So that's another reason why I would definitely say. Some also may do it actually as a way to experiment in their own way. And what I mean by that is to test themselves. It may become as gay baiting, but maybe they just want to explore. Sometimes there's a safe space to kind of play it off when they really might be interested. So it could be a curiosity test. They might do it as a way to safely distance themselves from being gay, but they still can like play with it to see how it makes them feel underneath that. And then humor and social media. Some people just use it as jokes. Kind of goes back into 1 and 2. They want that shock factor. They use it to be funny, to be entertaining, because you know they don't get comments like, "Yo, bro, what are you doing?" Or like, "Yo," like, you know, they won't get comments from other men, and that's going to just boost their head up, and they just want that validation. You know, it might turn into a meme, it might turn into like a clip that's all going viral, it might turn into something that is going to live on forever, and you know what I mean, and you know it's going to have people talking about it. So a lot of people want to be talked about. Like I'm doing this video right now, I talked about people, so it's a psychological thing that they do.
Something within our culture that has created this stigma.
Yeah.
That is the somehow there's a program to make black men gay. Like you see it everywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
There's an attack on
there's an agenda.
Strong black men. But who's the attack coming from?
Do you believe there's an attack?
How?
No, I'm asking. Do you believe
again? That's my answer.
Oh, how?
How?
Well, I think as people say it, through media, through fashion, through what's acceptable. Because
who?
Because like if you think about it, back in our generation, we're this exact same age. We didn't see homosexuality. It's been around since the beginning of time, but it was your auntie's friend, your uncle's friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now it's more in your face, more acceptable. It's more mainstream, actually trendy, you know?
Well, the world has gotten smaller. And so now we know that more humans exist. And we're actually able to see those humans living out their lives. We weren't able to see that before. I didn't know what was going on outside of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Right.
I have a clue.
So while some behaviors may stem from ignorance or immaturity, it's important that gay baiting is not the best thing to do. So I tell all the straight men out there that may watch this, like, you know, just be real, be upfront. You know, I'm sure there will be still gay men that will pay for things that, you want them to, or be subscribers, or blah blah blah. Just keep it real, keep it funky. Don't do that, because you know it's messed up to lead somebody on. And gay people, y'all gotta do better. Stop being thirsty. Like, come on, know yourself, know your worth, know that this man's never gonna date you. He's just entertaining you for financial gain. And I mean, if you got it, it ain't tricking if you got it, so that's fine. But I'm just saying, like, overall, have self-respect, especially the young ones coming up. Take no for an answer. Don't, if you notice you feel like they just doing stuff to lead you on, pay it. Don't do it. So I would just say, pay attention to the signs. I'm sure you'll know. I feel like you could just, I don't have to really read out the signs. You can figure out yourself.
These 4 men use Grindr, posing as someone who's interested in hooking up with another man, to lure 4 men to an apartment in Dallas. When the men arrived, they were immediately ambushed, their wallets were stolen, they were tied up, beat up, and thrown in the closet. For over a 24-hour span, these men were tortured. That includes being beaten, having feces rubbed in their faces, being urinated on. Although being hog-tied and laid on their stomach, they would have their heads lifted up and repeatedly kicked or punched or both. And the men were even SA'd. I didn't find out about it from the news. I found out on TikTok when I watched this man's video. He's one of the victims, and if you scroll down his page, you will see the videos of him telling his accounts of what happened that day, and they are traumatic.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about it in the comments, and why does it happen? Why do I feel like straight men do it? Because they can get away with it. That's what I really want to say, because they can get away with it. But hopefully that changes in the future. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let me know what y'all think about down below, and I'll see you on my next one. Peace.
To represent the full me. Not just a compartment, but the fullness of everything and all the things that I am.